In July, the United States and Japan struck a massive trade deal to avoid a tariff war. At its center is a stunning commitment, a $550 billion investment package from Japan into the American economy. But a peculiar detail has emerged. According to Japan's top trade negotiator, this money isn't just for building Japanese factories in the US. A significant portion could be used to finance a private Taiwanese company building semiconductor plants in America. That unnamed company is, of course, TSMC, the world's leading mass producer of advanced AI chips. This raises a puzzling question. Why is Japan financing America's AI infrastructure? An infrastructure that will be built by a Taiwanese supplier? The answer is that this isn't a traditional trade deal. It is the financial architecture of a new techno-alliance, a friend-shoring arrangement, where Japanese capital and American policy are converging to secure Taiwanese technology on US soil, and Japan is paying a geopolitical toll fee for its role in this new supply chain. To understand this, we'll deconstruct the political and economic objectives that forced this arrangement and the new world order it represents. Let's unpack this. To understand why this deal was necessary, we first have to examine the three distinct but interlocking objectives that brought these actors to the table. The first was America's. The United States designs the world's most advanced AI chips, but it cannot build them. This means the physical production of the processors designed by companies like NVIDIA and AMD happens offshore, creating a profound supply chain vulnerability. Onshoring this critical technology became a core national security objective, with the multi-billion-dollar CHIPS Act designed as the financial incentive to bring manufacturers like TSMC onto US soil. The second objective was Japan's. It faced an immediate and severe economic risk, the prospect of crippling US tariffs on its most vital export sectors, particularly automobiles. This was not just a balance sheet problem, it was a direct threat to the health of its most important global industries, creating immense pressure on Tokyo to secure a deal. The Japanese government estimated the potential cost to be $68 billion, making tariff avoidance its primary economic imperative. And the third objective was TSMC's. While it holds the key to America's supply chain problem, its technological dominance requires massive capital, especially after the White House pressured it to move manufacturing lines to the US. Building leading-edge fabs in the States is a monumental undertaking. The announced investment for Arizona alone exceeds $100 billion, a sum that requires long-term, patient financing to de-risk the ramp-up process. Securing this was a key corporate priority. These three distinct imperatives, American security, Japanese economic stability, and TSMC's capital requirements, created a set of conditions that a simple bilateral deal could not resolve. The solution to these interlocking objectives was an unconventional architecture. Each of the three actors provided one essential, non-overlapping component. First, America provided the geopolitical and physical foundation. It offered the secure territory for the new fabs, backed by the financial incentives of the CHIPS Act. Its objective was clear: to onshore the manufacturing of the world's most critical technology. Second, TSMC provided the irreplaceable technological core. It brings its world-leading semiconductor manufacturing process, the one asset that neither the United States nor Japan possesses at the leading edge. Its objective was to secure the massive capital needed for its costly US expansion. And third, Japan provided the critical financial component. To meet its objective of avoiding billions in tariffs, it agreed to supply the capital required to de-risk and accelerate TSMC's American buildout. This logic was confirmed explicitly by Japan's top trade negotiator, Ryosei Akazawa, who stated that the investment package was not limited to Japanese firms. For example, if a Taiwanese chipmaker builds a plant in the US and uses Japanese components or tailors its products to meet Japanese needs, that's fine too. So this is the answer to the central question. Japan is financing TSMC's US factories because it is the price of admission into a new Western-aligned AI supply chain, securing its own economic stability in the process. Deconstructing these complex friend-shoring arrangements, And identifying the hidden leverage that defines modern industrial policy is the core of our analysis in our weekly newsletter, ARPU. If you want to understand the new rules of geopolitical deal-making, you'll find the link in the description. While the logic of the deal is clear, the financial mechanics reveal its true nature. Japan is not making a traditional investment. It is paying a toll fee. The price of this arrangement is a financial concession. For the portion of the fund dedicated to direct equity investment, Japan has agreed to a lopsided 90-10 profit split, with the United States retaining the vast majority of the upside. And yet, despite this concession, on a fund with a headline value of $550 billion, Japan's own negotiator described the financial loss as marginal. The reason lies in the fund's structure. The headline figure is not a direct cash transfer. The vast majority will be dispersed as loans and loan guarantees from state-backed financial institutions. As negotiator Ryosei Akazawa clarified, for this portion, Japan's just making money on interest and fees. The lopsided terms apply only to a tiny fraction of the total, the 1% to 2% dedicated to equity. This is the core of the calculus. The potential profit Japan is sacrificing on a few $1 billion of equity is insignificant when weighed against the $68 billion in potential tariff costs the deal allows it to avoid. It is a calculated premium paid to secure its economic interests and its place within the new US-led technology supply chain. This US-Japan arrangement might become the blueprint for a new era of industrial policy, one where private ambition and state power merge to build the infrastructure of the future. The first signal of this new paradigm is its scalability. Just days after the Japan deal, the United States and the European Union announced a similar arrangement, with the EU pledging $600 billion in US-bound investment in exchange for tariff relief. This confirms that the model, using access to the US market as leverage to secure capital for strategic projects, is now a repeatable playbook. The second signal is the blurring of lines between private visionaries and state actors. A Nikkei Asia report reveals that the $550 billion framework is deeply intertwined with SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son's own private ambitions. According to sources familiar with the negotiations, 30 to 40 presentation slides about a SoftBank-involved framework were included in the official tariff talks. Furthermore, fundraising discussions for Son's private Stargate and industrial park projects reportedly laid the groundwork for the final $550 billion government package. Private sector projects are no longer just seeking state funding, they're becoming the very architecture of state policy. And finally, this new order is explicitly aimed at building a secure, US-aligned supply chain for the technologies that will define the 21st century. As Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick stated, the Japanese funds could be directed toward the manufacturing of semiconductors, antibiotics, or rare earths in the US. This US-Japan deal, therefore, is not just a solution to a trade dispute. It solves a critical US supply chain vulnerability, secures cutting-edge technology from TSMC, and allows Japan to avoid economic pain, all within a single financial structure. Japan is paying a toll fee for access to a US-aligned AI supply chain. This also signals an underlying shift in global power dynamics. The lines between corporate ambition, state power, and national security have effectively been erased. Understanding this new intersection of finance, technology, and geopolitics is what we do in our newsletter, ARPU. We go beyond the headlines to analyze the ripple effects of tech's biggest stories. To understand what this new era of technological division means for businesses and investors, you can subscribe at the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.